Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Open Mouse Podcast with your host, Professor Jazz, and my co host. Welcome back, Dr. Scorpio. How are you
Right,
doing
right.
tonight?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You said niggas was asking about me though, right?
Yes, the last episode, somebody asked about you. It's like, where's Dr. Scorpio?
Hey, that's
But
salute
Dr.
to
Scorpio
bro.
was busy.
Whoever that is, man. Salute, man. I'm glad.
He couldn't come in, but that's okay. You're here now.
No, that's perfect. No, I'm appreciative of everybody that be
No,
watching,
you
that be
you
tuning
missed
in.
the
That's
last
dope.
episode though, but how you been though?
I'm good. I chimed in and
You did
just kind of was looking at what y'all was doing. Salute to bro. What was bro's name again?
Chemical Lamas.
Okay. So I gotta get in tune with what he was doing in general. Like, I just, chimed in a little and I kind of was just seeing what y'all was doing. I was like, cool, this is dope. So that was actually pretty cool. So salute to bro. I hope we get him on the show again soon so I can meet him and, chop it up with
Yeah, it's my new segment I'm trying to do, to do on Thursdays. Just bring other people in,
him.
give their opinions, make it like an open table, open opinion, open voice. Everybody has their own voice that they want to make sure it gets heard. So,
Right, right.
we could talk about basically anything. So anybody that wants to be on the show, they could go ahead and inbox me, and they just have to bring a topic, and we'll talk about. Um, we've been talking about. Okay, so I've been trying to find out from them, like their favorite sex position and why. Because you know, you do have a favorite position. When you with your partner, and you might like it
Mhm,
this way, but it feels better
mhm,
this way. So
mhm.
why not, right?
I mean, it's like niggas go to is, what I'm saying? I mean, it depends what kind of nigga you is. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying? I'm all about, you feel me, getting to action. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. Like,
You
you
just trying
gotta
to go
please,
right in or what?
nah, you gotta please your girl first. So that's just off rip. You gotta please your shorty. Put her in position. When she get, you get her together all the way, then you could drive the car. You know what I'm saying? Then you drive the car. Now you feel me? You could take a, you know what I'm saying? You go cross country in this
You
bitch.
gotta start the
Like a
car
nigga like
first.
me, he might be trying to go cross country. You know what I'm saying? A nigga like me trying to get all the miles out this motherfucker. But
Right.
you might not be. You might be trying to go around the block, park and skirt, and then maybe pull off again
Well,
and
sometimes you
back to
just
the
go
crib.
around the corner.
Hey, if you understand, I don't gotta explain. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you might, sometimes you do just gotta go around the corner. There might be all the time you got.
True.
Just go around, spin the block, maybe
Spin
one more
around the
time,
block.
and slide out of there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might not even have time to spin the block. You might have to get to some paper. You know what I'm saying? You might have to go handle something, make a play or something. You know what I'm saying? That should be there
True.
later.
True.
You might
True.
not even
But
have time for all that.
but I also wanted to go ahead and let you know about the about what we're talking about last segment. We're talking about sperm sports.
You know, this is funny because I think I know where you're going with this. Go ahead. I think I know where you're going with this.
Well, look, people like kind of like in shock. It's like this is not true. It's not true, but it is real. Let me tell you, it
Hmm.
is so far real, and we're gonna really know on April 25th. Now, I'm not trying to promote that or anything, but I think it'll be interesting to watch if this is real and this is gonna go on.
Hmm.
We need to see, what happens, who wins, because it's a race.
Right.
And they were
Right.
talking about, people like to go ahead and they love watch race, race
Hmm.
sports. And, there was four kids, college kids from LA that invented this. They found a way where, we can do this, where they can make it like a little sperm sports. And
Hmm.
they actually you're able to place wagers and stuff. So, you know, it'll be interesting to watch.
Oh, definitely. Because generally speaking, like I get what you're saying. Like so basically, niggas invested, put bread behind this to have
Yeah,
this pretty much um to
and they
kind of
had to
just
train. They had to train. They had to take care of themselves in order to make the
mm-hmm.
little sperm men more faster, more
Funny as
healthier,
hell.
more
He
active.
said little sperm man.
A little
Okay.
sperm. Well, what do you
Funny
want me
as
to
hell.
call it?
Well, the thing is though, like I kind of understand this from like another level because it seems like they invested in this to like okay, because this is weird though. This is really
it
crazy. Because hold on, right?
Uh-huh.
Like what is even a sperm though? What is that?
I don't know. What is your definition of
Honestly,
sperm?
well, because it's like the sperm itself. I mean, my understanding from not really looking at anything, just kind of, you know, my understanding of what a sperm is like a soul encapsulated, and whatever that could be is like kind of like everything. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
soul itself, and it's encapsulated in this like physical form, but it's like light trapped in this thing, and then it's like put through all these different portals and processes till it get to this egg, and then it finally races through this little thing, gets to the egg. Now the thing is, the sperm's supposed to be you, right? So I'm trying to understand, like, it's crazy. So sperm could be a man or a woman. So is it just like your soul is androgynous and it has no real shape or form or anything, no identity besides just all this, like everything that's like, you feel what I'm saying?
You,
Like many, I don't know how to explain
they
that.
look like
That's my
little
understanding of it.
tadpoles.
Yes, but like tadpoles of the everything.
Right.
So it has no real. It just is existing until it has this kind of. You know what I'm saying? It comes into contact with this
The egg.
almost like yes, and it transforms into it gets the information. It says, "Oh, I'm supposed to be this thing. Okay, I'm gonna transform into this thing, and now I'm gonna do this because I just kind of wow." Now that's my understanding of like what I would think it is. So now that the niggas are really putting money into it and like,
But
you know what I'm
but
saying?
don't you think, okay, now let me ask you this. Say you're trying to make a baby. Wouldn't you want to see, like, say, like live action of your sperm going in it to make sure it goes there? Wouldn't that be cool?
That's crazy, bro. It's just
That'd be
crazy.
crazy. Like you're actually having sex with your partner, and
It's
then all of
crazy.
a sudden you have a, like you can plant like a little, I don't know, like a little microscope camera or something in there. Like maybe they'll put that on condoms or something like that, and you could actually see that on TV. Actually see like your little sperm going to her and all the way to the egg.
I think
That'd
I
be
seen a
cool.
video when we was in high school where they showed the sperm getting in the egg, but it wasn't as. I mean, it pretty much
I'm
was the
talking
whole thing.
live. Just make it
Yeah,
live.
it wasn't live though. This was like obviously like what I'm saying, a
Yeah, it
documentary.
was a video. Yeah.
You know, but it was the whole thing. So I do kind of actually remember watching this like in sex ed or something funny, right?
Yeah.
So so that's what made that funny. Like listening to what you were saying, I was like, oh, so that is crazy because if
That
they
would be
put the
crazy if you could actually watch
yeah,
that live
if
while
they
you're
put the money
trying.
behind that, yeah, or they already are, like you said,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
that
they could be doing that. They could have like, I mean, they could even make a device like even after that to place on women to show, actually really like you could be able to see, like you don't have to go to the doctor to get an ultrasound. You could do it at any
mm,
time at home, and you could go ahead and
mm,
watch the whole thing for the whole 9 months until
right.
the baby's born.
And I guess they would tap into those like what do you call them, like telephone visits, telegram visits,
Something like that,
or
yeah.
those video doctor visits, and then you could just be like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
boom, like this is the baby doing. And they be like, yeah, I'm already
Right.
seeing that shit because I'm
They're
already
gonna make
looking
it
at it.
where you don't have to go for an ultrasound.
Dude, that'd be insane. Like honestly,
That would be
insane.
interesting, yes.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
But
Um, yeah, that's
you know,
pretty interesting though. Yeah, but yeah, it's just that's a real crazy. Yeah, I think there's an underlining agenda with that, and then there's like an over understand. Like there's another one, and it's like where they're like really actively like watching live time, like how niggas is getting in this thing and watching it and like being like, yeah, boom. How do we, so how you start off? Because it's like really like me as a man, I'm understanding now like the sperm is like these million bitty parts of myself. Now I don't know which parts of myself make it to the egg though. You get what I'm saying? You talking millions of myself being put inside of my girl, or you know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
literally speaking. So these million parts are low key. This is what's crazy. They're low key racing. So from the start of you even put in this situation, the simulation, right? Like you're already competing with yourself.
Right.
You're really competing with yourself. Like that's
Or
insane.
you could, yeah, you could put it with yourself, but it can show more like I feel like it shows more awareness for men. Like, they
Yes,
could tell, live to see if the sperm are healthy, if
yes,
they're moving
that's
at
crazy.
how they're supposed to, a healthy sperm
Not true.
should go, yes, you should be able to fertilize almost anyone.
That's generally speaking how it go. That's why I
Generally,
was
if,
just that's
yes,
just interesting though.
if
That's
his sperm
yeah.
is taken care of, healthy, and everything like that, yeah, you should be able to fertilize anyone, procreate with anybody, as many kids. Because back
Right.
then they used to, yeah, they used to, there's a lot of people that used to have big families and everything like that. They used to,
Right. But
man,
sometimes
they used,
people do have complications, right? Like whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too. There's more people now having complications to even produce. Even when they do, sometimes there's issues with the baby, stuff like that, and that's because, and it's both men and women. We're not taking care of our insides like how we take care of our outsides. If you're just taking care of yourself on the outside, you need to make sure you take care of yourself on the inside, because especially if you're trying to go ahead and have kids. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it many times where women couldn't like have get pregnant. They couldn't get pregnant because a lot of times the issue was their weight, their diet. And as soon as they would and I've seen this where there's been women that have lost a lot of weight, they actually got to the weight that they wanted to and everything like that. And as minute that they did, they ended up getting pregnant. See,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because you're also taking care of your inside as well how you're taking care of your outside. So them doing this whole sperm racing, it is supposed to promote men's health.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually gonna be good for, like you said, awareness and just lets the people understand what's going on inside of themselves and then inside of the woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that'll be something that's gonna be in our future where again
Mm-hmm.
we could check ourselves instead of going to the doctor. You could actually check yourself at home. I
Yeah,
think
that
that's something
is
that's be a possibility.
man. I mean, technology is crazy. So I mean, I definitely see that happening in the future.
I mean, they're already talking about how they could actually take the egg and then the sperm, and actually people could actually customize the child.
Yeah, I heard about that. How are they doing that now? So like the eyes and all that, like how are they manipulating like
They put in different chromosomes in there in addition to your sperm and your egg. That's what they were talking about.
and there's so much that I had to like refresh on, like because I remember learning about all that shit in school, but I
Man, they
don't
talk
remember
about
how.
all that,
Yeah, it's
and,
so much
and
to
it's not cheap.
yeah, it's so much to that. Like you feel me? I don't know exactly what it is that because okay, I don't know if you do you remember like that four square box and it was like X Y and then like or is it X X and then Y Y or something. So and
Yeah.
it's like whatever way I can't remember how it breakdown is, but like that's kind of how I remember how I understood how a boy and or girl is made in recessive genes, and you know what I'm saying certain other genes are carried over. Blah blah blah. That's kind of how I remember it. But it's been so long, like I haven't, you know what I'm saying, even
Well,
touched it forever. So I
well,
definitely,
they have everything so different now. They're doing
yeah,
things like I said that you could go ahead and do however you want to. Like if you could have You want your child to have green eyes, they have the chromosome for that. And
Right.
you want a, I don't know, style of hair, type of hair and shade of
Yeah.
color,
Right.
whatever like that. They have the chromosome for all that. You customize your
Uh,
child, and that is crazy.
oh wow. And what's crazy is just like, where did they get this from? Though?
It's how technology is being involved.
Yeah, they
It's evolving.
exactly right. That kind of answers it, but it's just like, okay, well, better question: where did they get it from? Though? Where did they get these chromosomes that they just been able to just freely put in people?
That's
That's a
I don't
yeah.
know.
Now
Do we
I
really want to
never
know?
yes, but no, right? Because then it's like bad. Because obviously it's from other people.
You ain't gonna
Now,
like, yeah, you ain't gonna like what they might
yeah,
say.
well, that's why, like well, I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, I just knew very early on to just kind of be, what I'm saying, be mindful of certain things because I mean,
Yeah,
see what's happening to people, generally speaking, because the human trafficking thing is still real. What I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Especially for melanated
and
people.
it could be that. I mean,
But
we
you never
don't
know, though.
know,
You never really know. You never know. But that is
but it's a way
interesting
they're
to me.
getting it though.
Yes, there's a way. Yeah, sounds like it. Because sometimes people donate stuff too. You know what I'm saying? For science,
Yeah,
different other stuff.
yeah.
So
I mean,
sometimes,
and yeah, when you donate, I mean, they could take anything there. If you give them the
pretty much.
permission, and they could be just saving that for the next person that wants to customize their child like this.
Hey, that's my point, and that's why I like. But I mean, yeah, look, if that's what you choose to do, then you choose to do that. But I never was in favor of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not donating none of myself to nothing. Like, you feel me? Like, it's enough of my energy being like already here. You
Yeah,
feel me? I'm not donating nothing to myself, so I'm not opting into none of that. You feel me? Like, for
because you
real.
don't know where you're gonna go after
You
you.
don't know what's going on. Yeah.
You
Like
don't know.
that movie with
You're
Jennifer
not alive,
Lopez
so you're
with
not gonna know.
it was it Jennifer Lopez? It might or was it Cameron Diaz? I might be either or, where she gets the eye transplant, where she put the other person's eyes in her head and shit, and she starts seeing stuff that the other person was seeing and shit. She start like it's like
Oh
the whole
yeah, I
thing and
think that
shit,
was this J-Lo, I think.
right? And it's based off something or something actually too. So that's why I'm like, yeah, um, I ain't doing none of that. Like I'm super smooth. I'm not getting nothing.
Well, that's again, that stuff is happening. It's
Yeah,
something.
they do. They
If
do.
especially if you watch it in a movie, you know it's happening.
Yeah, I forgot what. It is something to that, and I can't remember what it is because that movie came out so long ago. But yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird that people, what I'm saying, be doing crazy stuff, you know, to people,
and
and
all you need is
yeah,
the money. That's all you need is the money to go ahead and do that. So I
right,
don't know.
kind of
Like
crazy.
I said, it's interesting to actually, if you wanted to, how would you pick your child?
Yeah,
To look.
you want to be
If you had
tall,
that
or you want to
money,
be you want to be more of an athletic build, like like how's niggas doing that? But I mean, I don't know. It's a whole thing with where this goes like way, way, way deeper. So it'd be like crazy. Cause like lately I've been seeing stuff about like um in the past about like incubator babies and how
yeah.
what I'm saying, niggas was being manufactured, and I don't mean niggas per se when I say that. Um, you feel me? So like that's what I've been seeing, kind of like low key a lot of lately, like in certain random posts and stuff. Like so like of course, I kind of knew about certain stuff, but like now, people kind of find other information that can correlate with things I've probably heard about, like 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 7 years ago, and that stuff's weird in general. But like, that's why I'm like, it goes way crazier than just saying, "Oh yeah, we just kind of just monitoring the sperm getting to the egg." It's yeah, I know. That's it, right? There's nothing else to that at all. That's why I'm like, this is like way crazier than what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? That's why motherfuckers is investing so much into it. like millions of dollars being raised for this. They let you know, nigga, how interested niggas are about what this is. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
the thing is,
So
it gets me to the point. It's like you said, where are they getting these chromosomes from?
where are they getting this
You
from?
know what? The thing that was scary is like, what if they get even chromosomes like from animals?
Yeah, too. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. And that could be like really easily accessible. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
So, but
is.
then it's like I don't know. Whatever is easy, or I mean, just I don't want to get too morbid. That's why I'm like, yeah, you feel what I'm saying? Like maybe that in general too, just people that are not that are also passed. So then it'd be like, oh yeah, I could just take whatever is left from this to do things with whatever remains and
I
stuff.
mean,
So
they
yeah,
have done some weird shit. They try to
exactly. So
even like they try to mix. I mean, they try to mix animals together. And they done that. Or
hmm
you hear that stuff. So you're not surprised with what they try to do. Like if they try to go ahead and mix animal chromosomes into, you know, people.
type shit. Wow. I mean, generally speaking, that is just interesting in itself. Like, I'm gonna have to probably, look into that more too. Like,
We're gonna
because,
have to look at it and see what's
yeah,
going on with that.
especially when they
Yeah.
do it and like to see like what is the conclusion is at the end of that and be like, so yeah, we were just trying to do whatever. And it's like, yeah, sure. Like, we had to see. Because, like I said, I seen a video where, it wasn't it was pretty much the entire thing, but it
Yeah.
wasn't, you know what I'm saying, but it was also, it wasn't live, like you were saying, like it wasn't in perspective to where it's like this is the real intention of watching it. It was more so just kind of like watching the birth of the baby. It wasn't about the focus of it being the sperm
Yeah.
racing to the egg and how that race happens. And it's crazy because that's what I'm saying. It's like what is that? They have its own intelligence enough to know to get the shit and find the shit and get to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like then they get where they're going. It's like can it see? It's like is it like a sentient being where can it just like see? You get what I'm saying? You ever
Yeah.
seen a Family Guy episode where I forgot how Stewie knew he could have a brother, but he knew he could have a brother. Damn, I used to really love this episode. It was funny, but he knew he could have
Hmm.
a brother, and like some type of way he was able to like, gosh, what was it? Was he dreaming or something? Fuck. Long story short, it's like he like gets inside of Peter's body. He creates this like, he makes himself really, 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 really small,
Right.
microscopic
He shrinks
size level,
himself.
and he gets in this like sperm spacesuit or something, or like space like whatever,
Yeah.
and then he gets inside of Peter's body, and he goes to the sperm factory, and
Okay.
he meets his brother, and when he
Oh.
meets his brother, and it's trippy, right? It's crazy, right? So
Yeah.
when he meets his brother and stuff, it's like they was beefing at first. Matter of fact, I think they were telling him like, "Hey, you're gonna have a brother," and he's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I don't want to have a brother because I'm the baby." So then he start
Uh,
being like really envious towards the idea of another baby being around,
yeah.
and then eventually, he has this dream where he meets his brother, or he goes. Matter of fact, no, he goes inside. Like I said, he goes in Peter's body and he goes to meet his brother. And then he goes to meet his brother. They bond, and then he like, "Yo, this is crazy. You're like, you're just as cool as me. So I want you to
Right.
stay." So matter of fact, I don't want them to not have sex. I want them to have sex now, so you can be born, and then you'll only
Right.
be like a year away from me, and then we'll just be, you
Right.
know. And that was the whole idea. So it's a whole elaborate thing that happened to where they trying to make them have sex now. But all these different things are actually stopping them from having sex now. Now
Okay.
that he wants them to have sex so he can have his brother.
Right.
It's interesting. And then they show the race where all these sperms are like
Yeah.
all these other many people are getting into these sperm spaceships. And then they like fly to the fucking, it's so weird though. It's just It's like some Osmosis Jones type shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but it's based on that, not like your endocrine system or digestive system or something, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
White blood cells versus bacteria or something. No, this is like literally cells. I mean, sperm cells, and they have their own identity, predetermined. And then like this is the nigga, and this is what the nigga would look like too. It was weird the way they put it in perspective. So like now that you saying this, it makes a lot of sense about why people would want to be a little interested into it, especially trying to
To
get to a microscopic level. You feel me? Like yeah,
yeah.
you're right. It does make a lot of sense. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It does.
And it'll be interesting to see how it'll develop, it'll evolve, if this happens, because they really have been doing a lot of different things. Like did you hear about how they brought back an extinct wolf back to life after over 10,000 years? They were able to bring an extinct animal, an extinct wolf, back to create be existing.
It makes sense. They've been able to do so much, like with the genetic grafting and shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if they've been trying to like stabilize some shit like that, bringing something prehistoric back.
And that's the thing, though. That's how it is now, because they
Perfecto.
have that technology that they could bring back any extinct animal, because they were able to prove this with these wolves.
Yeah, the wolf is like really
And
actually
nobody knew
exist.
about it for a while, because if you see how they are, they've been having it. I mean, they grew, they had it to make sure that they grew, so before they introduced it to the world of the little project what they done. And this is something that they've been doing.
Right. I mean, man, I'm not surprised because they have ligers and they have like what's the other one that's really popular? That they like all these hybrid animals, like all the animals domesticated now are
Yeah.
genetic hybrids and you know, been manipulated. So a lot of them, which is fine, but it's just more level like now that people understand how that process goes. Then you understand like you're not just gonna find this dog in the wild. You know what I'm saying? You're not just gonna find this other animal like just chilling in the wild because these have been domesticated for niggas to own them. You know what I'm saying? Um, but the wolf, like being so old and shit, it makes sense niggas would maybe want to fuck with that. I'm surprised niggas wasn't trying to fuck with
Well,
even
it's
with the
not surprising right now because they've been cloning. That's the thing. They've
right.
been cloning, but this is something, again, they brought something back from so many years
And
ago.
that damn wolf.
And so they were able, I guess they were able to get the chromosomes or something from it to able to create this. But I mean, they've been cloning now for a while. They've been cloning the sheep, they've been cloning animals, and they're trying to make it where, again, if we're in a stage right now where they've been talking just recently that we have depopulated after the pandemic, that we need to create more, we need to procreate. We went from overpopulated country to now we need to populate, and we're not the only country like that. That's really right now. There's a scared, and I think it's China, where they even trying to pay women, to get married, to go ahead and have a family, because they could become extinct.
Yeah, they've been trying
As
to,
human race, they can become extinct.
get niggas over there. But they've been doing so much like population control for so long. So it makes sense that now they have to have an influx of births and shit. Or, they have to have some type of stimulation to their gene pool or something because they like literally were throwing, girl babies in the garbage can and stuff because they couldn't even have, female children and stuff for like a long time. They were controlling how you couldn't have three kids, more than two kids. You had to work. Like they had them in a thing. China and general, like they had them in a thing for a long, long time. I'm not sure how much it is now, but for when we were
Right.
kids, they couldn't even have female children. All
Right.
that shit was regulated. They were doing all. They would if you had two kids and you were like a certain level or a certain status. You feel me? Like they really were donating their kids or giving them away or you know what I'm saying, or killing them and shit. Like
Well, because they didn't want to
mm,
overpopulate. That's the thing. They didn't want to
they were
overpopulate.
already
That,
overpopulated or whatever, right? Or whatever the case. So they're like,
and
yeah, you
so
can't have
now it
females.
was where, and it's not because of that, that made them not create no more. It's because of the way the world is over there. It's
Right,
expensive, just like anywhere else. It's hard for them to survive, even just by themselves financially. So a lot of a lot of them think it's like, well, why would I want to even get married or even have a child because that's more financial responsibility. That's a lot more, and they're already working. Oh, they even offer them like a day off, like an extra day off, so they could spend more time with their family and spend more time with
mm-hmm.
their partner, so they could go ahead and create.
Right, right.
It's got to that point where now they realize that they shouldn't have population control.
Yeah, it's like something's going on. Well, like a lot of
And that's something that they're trying to do here in this country too.
I would say,
How we
yeah,
talked about before about that law that what they're trying to pass in Mississippi. Well, after they passed the
we proposed
abortion
it, yeah,
being illegal, they're banning abortion. So they were trying to go ahead and put a law on men too. That you couldn't just ejaculate unless if you were thinking about procreating.
right. Well, that's what the nigga they was mad, and the nigga proposed it. It wasn't like they was gonna drop, just make this law, drop everything they was doing, just pass this bill in. But niggas was
Well,
like totally, going off on him. Yeah, this
Well,
it.
they already have a law like that in Texas too, where you could get fined if you got caught masturbating. I mean, of course
Yeah,
they're
so
not
like
gonna come to your
indecent
house, but
exposure
if
or something.
if
Yeah,
you're caught masturbating, it is a fine, and you can't just basically they're saying you shouldn't be wasting your sperm, and just like that, if you're gonna ejaculate, you're gonna go ahead and conceive a child,
or be in private because if you get in trouble in general, it's indecent exposure. You can't have sex in public like that. You
and
feel me?
that and that again, that's something to raise awareness too, because this will make it again. This is like kind of like population control. They're trying to
Mhm.
make it where you're gonna become responsible again. I mean, there's too many people are having kids and they're not. They don't even know each other. They just hooked up, or
Yeah,
it's like they were just having a drunk night and they ended up getting pregnant now, and it's
right. We
like
was talking about that. Yeah, we were talking about
yeah, and
that.
so it's not like how it used to be, and that's what we talked about last week. How relationships change, and it's crazy because it is like that. A lot of people don't want to get together with someone seriously no more, financially or emotionally or anything like that. It's just not happening like how it used to. You used to just meet the first person, fall in love, you get married, have kids. That's how it used to be. Now
Right,
it's like divorce rates are like high. Less people getting married, less people are having children. They're actually older women are having more children than younger women. So
yeah, yeah, because that's like younger women probably having more abortions than older women.
yeah.
So
And
older
so
women
it's something where we
take that.
could be like this, like China in a couple of years
Right,
because of
right.
that. But
They already asked if a niggas stop doing that. They've been well. I mean, it's a whole thing with that. It's like a whole thing. We was talking about
yeah.
that, but
Yeah, but it'll be
so
something interesting to watch because I mean there's a lot of things that changing. There's always a reason.
exactly. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Um, so have you been seeing anything this guy Ye's been doing as a recent? Or the
No.
interview? Did you see the new interview?
No, I have not. What happened?
It was interesting, man, because when we talked, because we also talked about that, you know, like maybe like it was a while ago actually. Whenever
Yeah,
when was the Super Bowl?
it was
Right,
in what, February?
right. So I was like looking at from the perspective of not really being in tune with like mentally or what he's doing, and then watching him do his stupid shit like where I'm thinking like, damn, he just doing stuff, which in some aspect he kind of is, or just saying stuff. But I'm like, okay, he got this commercial. Why he get this commercial? Why he do all this other shit? And I'm like, I'm not really understanding it like to a degree. Like, why is he like just spending his time to heavily invest in that? You know what I'm saying? Him like feeling the way about a certain thing, I can understand it. But to heavily invest in some shit, you know what I'm saying? It's, instead of something else per se, I was like, what is this really about? You know what I'm saying? But seeing the interview kind of shed light on what he was really kind of doing, and it kind of put it in perspective, like how he was actually coming. Pause. So I was like, okay, he kind of just touched on like, and then it was like he chose academics. I feel like maybe because he's
Right,
canceled, and he feels like he doesn't want niggas to be canceled, or how it is, or he's gonna support niggas who supposedly are being canceled by the public because he's supposedly supposed to be blackballed. So he gonna, what I'm
right.
saying. So he gave him the interview and shit. And from the aspect of that shit, I felt like this was a good way to break the, what I'm saying, to break the internet. But like, I didn't know what was really going on because it was so much happening with like, um, I guess they was like about to leave and stuff too. In the process of him even doing the interview, he was like just only going, so they was doing a lot of different shit, but it was only like, you know, to address certain things. So that's kind of what it was for real. But it was actually really dope. So when he touched on like just different things people was doing in the industry, and he was kind of touching on things he said, and also why he was doing certain stuff, it made a lot of sense. And I was like, damn, this shit is really crazy. Actually, niggas was probably mad because he had the outfit on though.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
But when Pac was behind the niggas, when Pac had all the niggas in the outfit on behind him, and he took the picture, nobody said nothing.
Hmm.
And that shit is old as hell. You know what I'm saying? And once I seen that shit, I realized what he was on. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh. And then it's like you got to go back to Yeezus. It's the niggas. He said, "I'm a black skinhead." Nigga. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? He said that 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I still got the album. The perspective of all this shit is actually like way, way, way crazier than just the surface level. And that's why it's like it's like that's why everything we was even talking is just like there's is like very, very small like barriers to each level of understanding what niggas is saying. Like, and if you just look at nigga in an outfit and they be like, oh, he's just doing this crazy antic stuff, and be like, yeah, but it's like he's trying to put like awareness to certain things. You know what I'm saying? And then if he's offending people in the aspect, he's so like in a certain stage where he doesn't care who he's making mad because of how he feels he's been, injustice, like done wrong. He don't really care now. And there is no people there to say, hey man, look, before you say this or whatever, he ain't even got them people around him no more. They're not look, you know what I'm saying? He ain't letting them in. He just only doing what he want to do now. Cause he feel like niggas tried to kind of do him a certain way. Even with
yeah,
like Cardi getting the whole feature from his daughter and shit, I kind of understand what he's saying. He's saying like, how are you able to get a feature from my daughter and you not really, what I'm saying, going through the right channels? You
right.
can't just do that. How you working with me? How you like a low key like a removed, like protege almost, and you gonna get my daughter on your album? You ain't gonna tell you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like come to the right, and do the right things to get them.
That's what you're supposed
Kind of
to
weird.
do.
It is kind of different. I ain't gonna lie. I would never do something, but I just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying shade to niggas per se, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Aside from you know what I'm saying, just the understanding of why someone would be kind of upset about that or not like that.
Why? Yeah. Why wouldn't they be
A little
upset?
different. You know what I'm saying? But I get it though. I mean, and it's funny, but anyway. But I get it though. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I ain't really mad at niggas. You know what I'm saying? For like how they feel. Like I kind of didn't understand it, but I did. Now I understand it more on the level because he's being like he's blurring lines now. He's breaking barriers, and he was talking about how shit is actually more controlled than niggas think it is.
Mhm.
And the nigga was like, "You
Yeah, and
take a
they've been
second.
saying stuff like that. Like he's been trying to say stuff like that for a while, and I mean, what are you gonna do about it? That's the thing. I mean, is he doing something about it? I mean,
I think he's just kind of in this, you know, this. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like I don't want to say a battle, but I guess with other people who have, you know, the money and you know the time to kind of do what you know to just. I guess he's fighting these people like, and it's unfortunate because none of them. It's kind of I ain't gonna say it's nothing to fight him about at all, but it's weird because the whole thing is a whole chessboard that niggas ain't even seeing that niggas is playing on, and you just kind of see the like theatrical aspects because they are entertainers. You know what I'm saying? So they put splashes of this for you know aspects of that in whatever they doing, but they're really just there to entertain. They're not really there to teach you. You can
right.
learn something in the process, but that's kind of being you know what I'm saying monitored. They're not really giving you things that's gonna uplift your soul in secular music. You get what I'm saying? It's really about physical shit. And you can have inklings of something that's possibly that could uplift you, but it's probably not really anything but like I'm smoking, I'm drinking, I'm fucking. This bitch is bad. These niggas got bread. Like it's not really. And I ain't saying that's not what we doing because that's what we doing down here, right? But it's also deeper meanings to like. So them niggas ain't really touching on that when we talking about just generally. So yeah, I mean, Yang in itself, I just think he. I wish I could actually talk to this nigga and be like, yo, bro, this is what niggas from the ground level they want to say to you, dude, because they don't understand this. They might not know this. And I'm not saying I don't, because I already knew what he was doing when he put the commercial up. But I was more just like, okay, I need more though, because me just kind of perceiving it is my own understanding, and I don't really understand why you think it's this important to put this much money behind it. If you know it's niggas that's disenfranchised and doing whatever, whatever, you couldn't have put 3 million in Chicago and actually put 3 billion in Chicago. And I'm not saying you haven't put no money in Chicago because I'm pretty sure you have. But I'm saying if you feel super strong
Yeah.
about this right now, there's a lot of niggas in Chicago that still feel super strong about you, and they
Right.
don't have nothing either though, bro. And you put that on there and told them to come buy some shirts, and you could have low key just gave it to niggas, bro, and then God would just gave it back to you since you sold. You feel me? That's your. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is where I'm mentally at with the shit. That's why I don't agree with the perspective of that, because we all know the niggas took everything from niggas. But to
Yeah.
invest in a commercial that does nothing for
Right.
people, the niggas you're talking about, it doesn't make sense to me, even though I could admire this person. And that is where I was actually objectified by that kind of shit. Like, cause you talk about a nigga who supported a nigga for like 30 years of their life, and then you see one thing and be like, all right, what is they
One thing,
talking
right.
about?
One little
Yeah,
thing
I
is
could
gonna
support you
change
through
their
all
mind.
the
It's like,
shit. Yeah.
really?
And it just make you start trying to understand what's going on because now we're in 2025, bro.
Yeah, at
You know what
least
I'm
try to
saying?
understand
Things
why they're
is
doing
like,
that.
and not really 2020. You feel me? But yeah, but you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's kind of just how I was looking at all this because I don't know if you've seen any of the rich and shit. Even like, you know, he getting into it with the gang, he getting into it with people again, he getting into it with other shit. Like little shit is happening. You know what I'm saying? Even supporting Diddy so much to the point he got the Sean John shirts up there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just in the interview with Chopper was saying how Diddy don't even fuck with him like that though. From a perspective of like Niggas was finna pull up over there when they had, making the band going on, and he didn't even want to let him in.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in there and, I guess, of course, show love. He just wanted to pop up there and just show love to niggas or something, or get into it or something. And he was kind of like, probably like, nah, I can't let this nigga in right now. Nah, don't let him in. And I guess that's what niggas was doing. But he up here like wholeheartedly supporting Diddy. And I don't know. I ain't never seen Diddy support Kanye publicly like that. That's
Yeah,
just
I
my
don't think so
opinion. I
either.
don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm not trying to be defensive to nobody when I say that, but I never seen him support him like that. So I guess he talking about I'm the same as this nigga. No, you're not the same as this nigga. You're not. Like, so I get it from a certain level, but like you're not, bro. This nigga, and I don't know. But I ain't, bashing nobody. But it's like it is what it is, bro. Like he did do the bad business deals. So at minimum, I don't know about nothing else. But the business deals is the proof has all been there for 50,000 years.
Yeah.
So niggas should have been in tune with that. You know what I'm saying? But
I
I
mean,
don't know. I just felt like, watching all that recently in the last 2, 3 weeks actually has been crazy. All the tweets and shit. And being as though
yeah,
we touched on that not too long ago, this interview was actually what kind of had clarity to everything we was talking about. And it was like he was kind of even like talking shit about the people that he kind of felt like, kind of shitted on him. So that's why he
yeah,
feels so like fuck everybody right now. You know what I'm saying? And it was interesting, like, you know, people don't really know the back stories to how these people may have actually, it becomes an idols as rivals type thing. And it
mm,
is like that with music because like you will admire a person and then you want, you know, this kind of like relationship with them,
yeah,
and then it just be based on some shit like money or something, or you know what I'm saying, like some superficial shit. But you be
mm,
like really admiring the person and be like, damn, like, and it ruins the perspective, or the person don't be cool. They be like a legit asshole, but you admired them for so long, but then it be like you actually talk to them or actually get to work with them, and it'd be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
it be like that a lot.
yeah. That's true though. That's
So,
crazy. It's crazy how there's so many things going on that just again, there's gotta be somebody gonna complain no matter what.
I'm not sure if you're saying anything that's been happening with, the Big U situation. You feel me?
No, what?
I mean, they talk about that. From what I'm understanding, maybe they possibly gonna reopen Nipsey Hussle case type shit too.
Oh
Because we
yeah?
was talking about that not too long ago, and that was kind of,
Yeah.
and that's when all that shit was surfacing, and now it's to get to the point where they possibly may, for what I'm hearing, that's what they're doing
Hmm.
because they already got him for all this other shit. It's like a 50 count thing type, and it's kind of crazy because all that shit was happening, and we was kind of looking at it when Black Sam kind of was like, yeah, this is da da da. He had his interview right, and we talked about it. And then when that kind of happened, it was like, okay, he ain't really looking too good right now, and it was looking kind of weird in general because I was like, wait a minute, why is all these niggas saying he, has
Yeah.
something to do with bro? And for me, I'm not really on none of that like talk about niggas whatever type thing, but being as though the impact bro had and shit like that, and how this situation was so crazy that it took the nation. Like they had like this nigga Nipsey Hussle, bro. They had like foreign newspapers getting printed about this nigga,
Yeah.
like all type of shit. Like they was like this nigga was. They had this nigga like, bro. He was way bigger than niggas kind of thought, and that his death was like this. It was way more than just. It was crazy, and niggas didn't know the impact that he had until he was able to, and then what happened, the way it happened, it impacted people too, I think, that made it so much more like, wow, like they want to connect with what's going on now, because it was like,
Now.
Yes, you get what I'm saying. When he been doing stuff, of
He
course,
was doing
years and
stuff when he was
years.
alive and no one really recognized it.
Because you talk about LA people, so LA people can live for years and be rich too, low, just in LA and maybe Texas and Vegas and niggas maybe in the East Coast or Midwest might not even be knowing what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They be artists,
Yeah.
or business owners, or be whatever, and then niggas kind of gotta find out or get in tune or go travel, and they be like, "Oh, this niggas over here that's doing this whole thing," and they don't even care about what's going on anywhere else because they low key rich in Cali or wherever else, and or they doing whatever. And I noticed that too a lot of people too, or they be traveling, so they come back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you meet people, they be like, "Oh, I really live out here," and you be like, "Oh," and that's how you get in tune with niggas. You know what I'm saying? But that interesting. I mean, bro, that shit is still ongoing too. So I don't know how to really say anything. But besides, what I'm saying, I hope the situation that involves bro gets, we understand what's going on. I just kind of, I would hope that niggas didn't have nothing to do with it, like, cause then it'd be like, okay, we just clear the nigga's name then, and be like, yeah, that nigga just was tweaking. He just did that, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Versus it being like the niggas really planned to do that for no, like, for nothing, because
Right.
he
They didn't do
offended
it
him,
just for nothing. That's a reason for it.
because he offended him, because that's really what the thing is.
He
They're
wanted that
saying,
attention for it.
that that's the if there's nothing more to it than that, then that's what you can say. But like they are saying that the nigga had killed this kid that was like on his football team or something. He was like
Yeah.
signed to his record label or something. They say he killed the kid because he made a diss song, and they saying that was right after. I think that was not too long after Nipsey. You know what I'm saying? And I guess he was thinking like, oh, okay, I'm finna. And like I said, I don't know this shit, but that's kind of how niggas is putting it out there. And I was thinking to myself like, damn, bro, if this is really all like being done, right now and gonna all unfold like literally like right now, this is gonna be so. This is like the craziest situation. You know what I'm saying? Because this went from just saying, oh, okay, we just got this nigga that just got so mad that he just risked his life and freedom to do this to this celebrity person. You know what I'm saying? To now
Yeah.
it really is. It's not a conspiracy. It really is the niggas is trying to. You feel me? So if they really put that together for real, that's gonna be insane, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Cause they all, like Black Sam said, it all kind of looks like it was something planned.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
I
it's
don't
fine
know.
for something, but what I say, I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah,
I
that shit's
mean,
crazy, man. Salute to Black Sam, though, bro. Yeah,
that's what they do. I mean, they're trying to do things to go ahead and make people talk, whether it's positive, but it's more negative now, just to get a reaction,
right,
just to go ahead and do whatever plan they're trying to do. Because obviously, why would they pull a stunt like that unless if there's a purpose for it?
right. I mean, the person shit was to do that shit. You know, it's unfortunate though. You know what I'm saying? Even with the
So
Yella Beezy situation. What you say? What you
yeah,
say? What you gonna say?
no, no, go ahead.
It was the same kind of thing. The Yella Beezy situation with the Mo 3 situation.
Yeah,
So niggas kind of all this stuff now being brought back, like from some shit that was kind of happened a minute ago. Now
right.
shit's yeah.
And
That's
that's
the
how they've been doing it though. It's like it's something that happened, but then you won't get actually it'll be brought up like many years later. Stuff that you've done before, And unfortunately that's the way it happens though. I mean, you can't just think because you haven't been caught in the first year or two that that's it, you're free and that's it. You're never gonna be paying for
actually.
that.
I think bro probably was actually thinking. I don't know how bro was thinking, but he probably just was trying to, you know what I'm saying, maneuver through this kind of stuff because I'm sure he kind of figured. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna try to press him at some point. So he
Yeah.
probably trying to figure out how to handle that. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm.
sure. It is what it is. I mean, that situation crazy too. But that's why it was just kind of correlated because I'm just like, all the shit that happened before now, as far as like things from that kind of level is niggas is now, it's all resurfacing. And I'm like, damn. So, I mean, he probably gonna be cool though. You know what I'm saying? He probably gonna be cool. But I don't know. I don't know. You never
Hmm.
know, man.
Never know how. Yeah, that is true. I was gonna ask something, but I completely forgot.
That's what I was saying. I want to know what you were saying.
I forgot. It was the topic that we were talking about, and I don't know what it was, but I wanted to ask you a question. I totally forgot. That's what I get. I've been drinking.
Right. I mean,
But it's crazy how all of a sudden, just especially like, the hip hop music industry, there's a lot been going on, it's like everybody's getting caught up in charges, like what's his name? Lil Durk too. And Diddy's case is still going on. I mean, but they're
that's the
bringing all this
yeah,
stuff like you said that happened like years ago. Like, okay, what about
yeah,
that kid
yeah,
TK too? That's his name,
yeah,
right?
that too. Yeah,
Yeah, then
I
now
saw
he's
that
serving
too.
us. He just got sentenced for 80 years on a second charge. So he was already charged with the first one, and now a second
Right.
charge. And it was because of that video that made him famous, that music video that made him famous.
All of it,
Now
yeah.
he's
So
serving 80 years. Now that kid is gonna be there his whole life.
yeah, that's the example case. That's the
And,
one they
and
gonna.
they don't think about that. I don't know if they're not thinking about the consequences, but there's increase of more young men and women too that are going to jail at a very young age. And it's like, especially like again with the music industry, it's like a lot of them are even talking about the people that they killed on their fucking song, or do a fucking music video about what they're gonna do and leave evidence on the music video or the music, the song, and they wonder how they got caught. It's like you're basically snitched on yourself.
Is man, hey, watching Thug and watching the situation with Thug, I'm sure it's like an eye opener for everybody. You feel me?
Yeah,
Like everybody was like just kind of looking at that and being like, damn. So you have to be really conscious about things you're saying.
you
You
do.
have to be really, aware about whatever's going on whatever affiliations that you got. Because if you're not aware of whatever affiliations you have, like these people could be doing this, you have no real awareness of it, and you could be brought into it. And it's like that's generally how a lot of shit just happens too. You will have no idea this nigga's doing this, and you're not really necessarily doing it with him, but it's something that you did do that got niggas, interested in your persons. So they're like, yo, what's up with you? Because you did whatever with Buddy, and it seems like Buddy's doing this. So what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I've seen it happen. So it's like it's weird that a lot of shit be even happening the way it happened, but they be trying to like really, fuck up niggas particularly all the time. So I be really it's crazy though because it's like so it ain't no like organizations with like white niggas doing shit that niggas need to like stop. It's just the rap niggas. Now I'm not saying they not doing fucked up shit because a lot of them is, but
Yeah.
generally speaking though, like so it's just the rap niggas. Like so no, there's no groups of white niggas that's doing shit that's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? That niggas need to monitor for real and take them down and put a recall on them. It's none of them niggas. Or maybe they not just doing the ignorant shit, the stupid shit niggas be doing though at the same time. Like telling niggas what they doing. Like
Well,
they're
again, it's like
killing niggas and then putting in the song, being like, "Yeah, I killed this nigga," and da da da. Like so, I don't know. It's just I don't know.
I mean, and it's showing again. It's no, but it is being more aware in the hip hop music industry that this is happening because again, it's like they said that they're allowed to go ahead and use your music video, your songs that can go against your charges, whatever. If you get arrested and and they're trying to go ahead and prove something, they can prove it if it shows, if it's proven in the song or whatever evidence that they're gonna go ahead and use that and they can.
Right.
You know? Again, bring it back to that little kid, TK. Um, it was the music video that made him famous, that song that made him famous. Talks about it. It's not the first one. There's plenty that talk about the whole fucking murder in the whole fucking song. And then they wonder again, they wonder how they get caught.
I don't think
I
they
mean, that's the
wonder.
thing.
I
You
don't
have to be
give a
careful
shit.
when you go anywhere because, like I said, you have to be careful of what you put out there, but you have to just be careful stepping out of your house because there's fucking cameras everywhere. You do something, you're
Yeah,
gonna do it, you're gonna get caught in video. Or
especially in the city.
yeah, especially in the city. And then
Especially.
it's like people they don't even care no more. They go on live, they go do all this stupid shit on live. Like they'll go ahead and go on a shooting spree or kill their partner or whatever, but they do that fucking live. Do they care? No.
No,
They want people to know that they can do that.
it's kind of fried right now. That is
But
real.
then you get caught
It is kind of
because you got
fried.
it all over social media.
My point. But that's what I mean. Hey, look, that's why they're gonna use bro specifically that you brought that up as an example. Uh, even YNW Melly, that situation is crazy too. Now it's just that if that's kind of how we're going with it, that's kind of how that was. I don't know. We still know what's going on with bro. I don't know how that's. I don't know what's happening with him. All these situations is mad. It's crazy. That's why like I had to kind of mentally go through a process to where I knew I had to kind of like make sure I was going in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, uh, I guess a message, but not really like, because it is what it is. But it's more of a level where it's kind of like, I don't have to condemn niggas. I don't have to condemn myself. I don't have to consistently, promote violence towards people or people that look like myself. You know what I'm saying? Specifically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Who do certain shit like, you feel me? And the young niggas don't really, they ain't seeing that. They don't really know that. So they, you know what I'm saying? That's where you got to
I
take it.
mean,
That's where you got
we just have to all be careful. That's all. Because if you end up doing something, hey, you're gonna get caught. I mean, it's so easy to get caught nowadays. You just I don't know, but so I guess tonight we're gonna end the shorts. I'm feeling tired now. But I've
hey,
been drinking.
it is what it is.
Anything you need to say, Dr. Scorpio?
No, we gonna be back once again. You know what I'm saying? Later, it's gonna be some, different things going on. We gonna have people that's gonna be chiming in, some different artists and shit. Damn near some, some different, comedians as well. Jazz Hay, some different comedians tap in. So hopefully sooner or later you will see some big celebrities on here. Something. You feel me? Chopping it up with niggas. That's gonna be cool, right? Like maybe we'll have that happen sooner or later. Let's just speak it into existence or something, right? You feel me?
And like I have said before, we are trying to expand the podcast. So we have Thursdays where I bring on a special guest and we get to talk about some real topics. So, basically anything we want to talk about. But that's for Thursdays. And then me and Dr. Scorpio will be coming on live during the weekends.
Sure.
And then I'm trying to do my other two segments I'm not going to talk about them that much right now, but I will start giving more details as we get closer to the date. But we're going to be having, me and Dr. Scorpio will be having late night bites. And then I will be having a segment called Mental Penetration. So I hope everybody does tune into those. Make sure you follow me on YouTube under Professor Jazz. That's Professor YAZ. And follow Dr. Scorpio on YouTube.
Yeah, let's go. You feel me?
And
Yeah.
and with that being said, I hope everybody has a good night.